WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Benriach, one of their 19 single malt cask edition collections for 2021. Yay! This is barrel number 2569, which was originally intended for France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Denmark, and the Ukraine. Isn't that a very weird market distribution? France, Belgium, Netherlands, okay, and then Denmark, well, maybe, but then Ukraine? I'm not really sure about this. By the way, this is one of the weird, funky type of corks. I don't know. Look at this. Do you see how little bit of a little bit of an edge there is there? Which means that the bottle here is fairly thin, to be very honest. All right, so we have here Whiskybase number 180044. I paid 134 euros and 50 cents for it. If I would have bought it in the Netherlands, it would have been about 20 euros cheaper, but hey, whiskey.de host had it on sale. A few of my super fans said, Jason, buy, and it was, okay, click, buy, and it was bought. All right, I'm going to compare it to this bottling here, which is an Aaron bottling. This was a limited edition, specially bottled and selected for Whiskybase. This is a 19-year-old Aaron, so from 2000 until 2020, and 54.4%. I have a little bit left in my glass from my German video. Hopefully you will not mind. So, two things, first of all. Oloroso, I'm learning more and more about sherry at the moment. I'm going to try to give you a definition of sherry. Sherry is a fortified wine made in the region around Jerez. A fortified white wine made from the grapes. Oh, I'm still learning. Thank you for being patient with me in my learning. Palomino grapes. So it's a fortified white wine made from Palomino grapes. Did I forget something? So 98% of the entire grapes that are grown in the region are the Palomino grapes. 1% is Moscatel, 1% is Pedro Jimenez. We both basically have two different types of sherry. We have the with the biological maturation, which means there's actually a yeast layer on top of the in the barrel on the top of the liquid, which is called flor. That is what for our fino and our amontillados. And there's the oxidative maturation, which means there is no yeast on top of there, and that's basically our palocotados, that's our olorosos, that's our Pedro Jimenez. And so this is a oxidated white wine. And we wait until the fermentation process is over, and then we fortified it, which means we add 96% vodka, or brandy is what it's actually called, because that's being made from grapes. And then you have that, what you need. In comparison, if you have a port, you stop the fermentation with the addition of the fortified wine. I didn't know that. I'm learning a little bit here. All right. And the last thing I learned about the Oloroso is that it's a dry wine. It's less than 5 grams of sugar per liter, which I did not know either. I thought it was always sweet. No, it's one of the dry white wines. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Good. Enough of that. Let's move on to Benriach. My fact of the day is I'm going to tell you where the 19 different barrels went to. Now, Rachel Berry, she had the opportunity to try apparently a lot of these different barrels, and she found 19 pearls, and she picked those out, and she gave her love to the world. So we have basically some of them are for Europe, and some of them are for Asia, and one is for Canada. Why did the USA get none, even though it belongs to the Brown-Forman brand? I have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever, but hey, that's the way things are. So we have a virgin wood barrel, which is 23 years old, which went to France and Belgium. Sounds good. That'd be cask number 7420. We have a 22-year-old Marsala wine hogshead that went to Italy. Sounds also very, very good. We have this bottle here, which is the Oloroso, but which is France, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, and Ukraine, as I mentioned. We have a 15-year-old rum barrel that went to just the Benriach Visitor Center in some of Scotland. We have, and those are all unpeated. Now we have a few peated. We have a PX Puncheon that went to France. We have another PX Puncheon that went to Belgium, Cyprus, Greece, Malta, and Poland. Why does Belgium get so many great whiskeys? Question mark. You had a port pipe that's peated that went to the UK, 11 years old, 11-year-old Madeira. Hogshead peated went to Andorra, of all places, plus Poland and Portugal. And then you have a few unpeated. You have an Oloroso Puncheon, 11 years old for the Nordics and Eastern Europe. So Sweden, Finland, and Norway. I guess that's the Nordics, maybe even Iceland and Eastern Europe. And you have an 11-year-old Muscatel Hogshead that went to the Netherlands as well. So the Netherlands and Belgium get a lot of good single cask bottlings from Benriach. And last but not least, here we in Germany have to share a cask with Austria and Switzerland. We're German speaking, why not? And it was a Pedro Jimenez Puncheon. I did not see that at all. That is cask number 3911. I have no idea where that ended up. And then you had a couple casks go out over to Asia, as I mentioned. 26-year-old PX, Pedro Jimenez Puncheon to China. Yay. Peated a 26-year-old Oloroso but peated went to China as well. Yay. A 23-year-old bourbon barrel unpeated went to Israel. Good for you. We have a 22-year-old Pedro Jimenez Puncheon unpeated went to Southeast Asia, whatever that means. Singapore, maybe also Taiwan. Depends on how they define Taiwan, doesn't it? 13-year-old Pedro Jimenez Puncheon went over to Australia unpeated. The Muscatel Hogshead, 12-year-old unpeated, went to New Zealand. There's a 12-year-old Sultan Barrique that went to Canada unpeated. Ooh, Canada gets one. That is cask number 5613 if you're looking for it. Interesting. And there's another Pedro Jimenez Puncheon peated that went also to China again. China's a big place. So why did I read all this? Because once it's interesting to see how many are unpeated and how many are peated, and it's interesting to see where they put the peated whiskeys. So China got peated. Yeah, UK got peated. Poland, Portugal got peated. And also France got peated. Interesting. I think that's fascinating. Now, what I'm always missing, and that's maybe the last thing before I come to my nosing, my tasting, is the information here on the label about the barrel. Yes, it does say that it was a Pedro Jimenez, and in this case, it's a, it says here a Oloroso, I'm sorry, it's an Oloroso, but reading from the screen, not from the thing here. It's a sherry butt, but what type of wood was used? Was it the American oak? Or was it a European oak? And what I'm really curious at, I would actually make a hybrid cask. I would make 2/3 of it American oak and 1/3 European oak. I don't know if that's allowed. Tell me. I don't know if anyone's ever did that before. Yes, I do know that in Ireland they've done things like that. No, I'm talking about in Scotland. I'm talking about sherry casks. I'm talking about using different types of wood. It has to be oak, but American oak and European oak together. That would be kind of cool, personally, I think. So on the nose, what I get is, I get a fruitiness from the sherry, but behind the fruitiness, I get a little bit of like a chocolate croissant. Over here, we have a little bit like Nutella almost in there. And that croissant, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a chocolate croissant with a little bit of a berry type of marmalade on it. I'm getting hungry. Nice. Good breakfast. Now, I'm no problem whatsoever here, all right? 59.8%, no heat, nothing bothers me, everything's perfect. Now let's try it. Cheers. If you've been to my channel before, you know this is how good it is, and the second hand is how much heat is in there. There's a lot of heat going on in there for me. I'm a weakling, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 59.8%, take it down to like 52%, right? Maybe 50, 52, 53, someplace in there. And I'm going to try it again. And that's where this whiskey pops. I gave this whiskey in my German video a C plus, and then I gave it a C plus plus, and I might just give it a B minus here in my video. That's one of my problems I have with my videos is I open the bottle and I do bottle shares, and so the rest of the whiskey's gone, and I only have a little bit at the beginning to try and to taste, and this is my first impression. And sometimes a bottle, not often, maybe 10, maybe 15% of the time, will get actually better the more I taste it, and sometimes will get worse the more I taste it. But usually about 80% of the time, I'm, at least in my personal opinion, I'm fairly spot on with that whiskey, at least according to what I think is what the rating should and could be. Oh, nice. The nose is a little bit shy. It's there, but it's not popping. And in the mouth it pops. So let's say cilantro to your health. Hmm. 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 I very much like. This is going to be a B minus whiskey. And I think it's going to be European oak that they used. Mmm, nice. Reading the own traditional notes here, Ben from Benriach, probably from Rachel Berry herself. Color, which I thought was the Arabian sunset. I don't know if that's the Arabian sunset or not. That's the sunset in the sandstorm, but who knows? So the nose is richly sherried with fruitcake. Everything's fruitcake today. Honey, orange, and creme brulee. And on the palate, we have chocolate meringue. Wow, I got chocolate croissants, okay. Um, Toasted hazelnuts and lingering sun-dried raisins. Didn't get the raisin part, but I got a little bit of that red berry part. All right, this is actually a very good whiskey. Now my grudge is the price. 134 euros, I think, is a lot, but come on, where else can you find a 15-year-old cask strength, sherry matured Benriach for a price cheaper? I don't know. I got over here, and this is going to be my comparison whiskey for this. I have from Signature Vintage, the cask strength edition, a 20-year-old Benriach, 240 euros. So this is 100 euros cheaper than this, and it's only 5 years older. We're going to have to see about this one, if this can even live up to its expectations. Wow. All right. So originally I thought I'd try it. I went for the Aaron instead. Those two will be fighting it head to head in the video for the 20-year-old. So over here, Aaron, I'm not a big Aaron fan of the old stuff. The new stuff with the redesign and the core range models, the Bodega is great, the Bothia is great, the 10-year-old is great. The Barrel Reserve is actually not bad for its money, and so on and so on and so on. But these single editions, anything the 21-year-old I did not like, the 25-year-old was not up to par in my opinion, especially with the price they were asking for it. Great packaging with the Aaron 25, but so. And I'm going to say this was a refill sherry, but no, Hogshead, I'm sorry. Cheers. There's a certain acidity to the Aarons. There's a certain distillery character that comes through and through and through. And sometimes it's great, but sometimes it doesn't really harmonize with some of the barrels out there. And for me, in my personal opinion, I did not think that the harmony of everything here was given. This, on the other hand, this is kind of special. Yeah, I'm going to keep my look out for any of these, maybe for 2022, who knows, the Cask Edition collection, and see if there are 11, there were 11 different cask types, 19 different single malts for different areas of the world. All right, thank you very much. Whiskey Jason, please like, subscribe, tell others, maybe even share this video with others. I'm tasting a lot of rare and exotic whiskeys over here in Europe that you might not ever see, you might not ever have, so I don't have a lot of search engine support, but hey, I got a good fan base and I love to have your comments. Comment, what is your favorite Benriach distillery bottling? And it could be anything, so write down what you like. This is not the best. There have been some better. There was a Virgin Oak. I think it was 17, 18 years old. That was really amazing. Must be about 6 years old by now. Thank you very much for watching. All the best. See you soon. Whiskey Jason. Bye bye.